do we need time to have an experience?
Well, it is like opening a book. It would be very hard to read the book right if it was just closed and if you could just see the whole, like that is how we perceive things. We see the whole book directly. The beginning, the middle, and the end, all there. And wouldn't it be quite boring to watch a movie that way? Synchronicity, by the way, is actually when you can be with this in this split dimensional world uh, and at the same time be in connection with the source where there's no time. So same time you're experiencing time and the timelessness at the same time. That is synchronicity.
Welcome, Enbär.
Thank you.
And we are returning with a new session here, and hopefully we will have another chat with the council, and we will be able to ask some interesting questions. And but I would like to start out a bit with Enbär. Will you maybe you could tell us a bit more the process when did these entities appear in your life?
Well, I was pregnant with my partner. We were expecting only in a couple of months. And I was in YouTube. I just passed an initiation that was ongoing in live broadcasting from Christina Lopez. She's an intuitive also and a channeler. And so I just jumped into that. It was kind of a meditation initiation and download of light codes. And I've done that many times in my life, doing things that I don't really know what it is or necessarily believe in. And then it was like a nice meditation, and I experienced something, but it wasn't like super extraordinary. So, but the next day, the next day, I was in the toilet, and I started to. There was this nature spirits defiling and introducing themselves. They were like a delegation, introduces themselves in couples, like a king and a queen, and they're like elementary fairies, some of whom I had met before. You know, water fairies and stone fairies and different kinds of spirits from the forest that I had contact with before. And they said that my mission would be to help people who are already intuitive to take the next step, and also that they should help people to reconnect more with nature and with nature spirits. So that was the first. So the Council of Boazim wasn't really involved in that meeting. And then I think the next day or something, that I had this epiphany, or I think it was the Council of Boazim that you know told me a lot of things about the development on the earth. And I was like, I was on my way from the bus home, and this was like on the Lionsgate, 8th of August 2020, so 5 years ago roughly. So then we started to explore. I remember we were on a walk. It was wintertime. We had our baby sleeping in a stroller, and we were connecting with like one individual from the council. It hasn't happened so many times, but
Can
And
I just pause for a minute here?
yeah,
So
yes.
what is the like the association between the nature spirits and the council?
Yeah, that's well, basically they're doing uh, the same thing. They're helping us transition now here, as the council has more of this bigger view on things. But well, while from the nature spirits, it was more like a distress call because they're getting extinct. They are bind to biodiversity,
Mm,
and many like gnomes, they need a lot of biodiversity, really old forests
mm,
to
mm,
exist. So
mm.
and so they're really, hey, we need help. This is really serious.
And
So
I guess that's also what we call the Devic kingdom, like this the nature
yeah,
spirits. Yes. And you've
yeah,
been kind of very intuitively in touch with nature for a long time.
yeah, they have been my mentors, like trees and like there was one spirit where I lived before here in Finland, in Turku,
Mm,
who was a guardian. He was helping me with my boundaries. He was taking care of the boundaries in the forest, or protecting the forest. So it has really helped me.
and you've written songs about the forests as well. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, I have. I have one called Tree Advice,
Uh-huh.
which
Okay.
is the kind of main point is that there's nothing wrong with you.
Mm.
It was a message from a tree. So yeah,
I remember a song called Ojnare Forest, I think it's called.
yeah. Yeah, that was when I kind of fell in love with the forest because I have
Mm,
been I've been always living by the sea. I grew up on Gotland by the sea. It was always windy and always like big horizons. And then I came to Enbär Forest, and I had just lost my grandfather, or my uncle, who meant a lot to me and was also protecting, fighting for that forest and for the water on Gotland, lilies. And so it was like a big embrace. I was just
mm,
held in the forest. It was so beautiful. I just cried and cried and cried. So it was so
mm,
safe there. And that was maybe why I fell in love with Finland later on and moved here, because now I'm really like a forest
mm.
loving person.
And is that also a like a need that you want to be like in nature, maybe not so much in the city with all the city noise as well?
Uh, I mean that is more due to being sensitive, that I can't take all this so much energy in different kinds of energy
Mm.
blending in different layers. So it's more, maybe more, that's why.
And then you do like in collaboration with other artists and like actors, you've done some plays as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah, I was, yeah, in relation to this, I was working really with really heavy themes, like the Holocaust, like perpetrator victim
Mm,
dynamic.
mm,
And because I had a past life in the Holocaust also, or maybe even my last life in a linear perspective.
mm, mm, mm,
Uh, and then I got an advice from another healer or something to, yeah, connect with Lord Michael for the perpetrators, and Sananda, or Jesus, his
mm,
Sanskrit name,
mm,
for the victims. So, and I was told to envision blue light for Lord Michael, the
mm, mm.
Archangel Michael, and
That's a
then
that's a
green.
light of truth, right? Blue lights.
Well, it's power,
Mm,
protection, also humor,
mm,
and yeah, communication, protection.
mm,
So, and the green is like love,
no.
forgiveness, and that very heartfelt energy. So
Mm,
I just share that I was doing a lot of acrobatics. I was dancing on high stilts, and I was on top of the roof of a car, and on top I was doing acrobatics on top of a 4 meter high wheel. So when I was a perpetrator, I was close to the sky, so I saw the blue
Mm,
heaven.
mm,
And then when I was a victim, sometimes I was hanging upside down in this wheel and playing
yeah,
accordion. So then
yeah.
I saw the grass because it was an outdoor performance. And one
Wow.
of I was playing this Nazi. I was a really the show starts with a very panalistic scene with
Mm,
kind of he's bullying a rabbi, a Jewish
mm,
rabbi, and it was so hard to do. It evoked how should we approach this. So we developed this kind of we call it gay Nazi flamenco. that,
okay.
that because he was
Right.
dancing to some kind of classical
Oh yeah.
guitar music, and then he was hitting the like very plastic and
Mm,
formalized
hmm,
like a ballet dance. So it was much easier to see and not
mm,
feel. It was
mm.
like just a like a cartoon
Yeah.
or anima what is it? Yeah, an anim.
Mm, sure.
Yeah, so but that
Mm,
was my first encounter with them. And then they really came and introduced themselves to me, Lord Michael. I was had these little tea candles, and
mm,
the whole room lit up, and they came and like very formally uh, introduced themselves, and
mm, mm.
it was beautiful. And then they
Mm.
say, and after, and it was really like the light grew in the room. I was like,
Yeah.
what is this? I was.
And was this like together with your collaborators? Was this when you were meditating by yourself, or in what was like the context here?
Do you mean in that time or
Yeah,
many years ago?
when I mean you were doing this play that was very acrobatic, and then
Mm.
at how like what was like the relation at that time with the beyond the other side, you know? How did you commune? In what situations could you?
Well, it was quite, it was very energetic work from all
Mm,
the actors and the group. The group
mm,
dynamic is playing out
mm,
similar patterns as
mm,
of that often happens that you're there is
mm,
a similar group
mm,
dynamic to the theme that you're doing on stage. So it was great work by everyone. It was tough sometimes.
mm,
I had a but just because it was so much hard, like masculine energy, all this yeah,
mm.
very rough energy. So sometimes I had like a pink scarf or something pink cloth in
Yeah.
my pocket to feel a kind of more feminine energies.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Wow. That's fascinating. I mean, that's and do you feel like you challenge yourself, or is it, you know the way forward, or how do you know, how do you navigate?
In now I don't understand in what.
Like, now you went into this collaboration and you created together with other beings, other people,
Mm.
and what led you from one thing to the next, how did you?
Yeah, this was almost 30 years ago, 25, 26, 27 years ago. But then, yeah, we also did it the second time, 2014, 2015. The name of the play is Holy,
Mm,
Helig in Swedish,
mm, mm,
and the theater is Theater Albatross. If you're interested,
mm,
there's a trailer on YouTube. But yeah, what happened afterwards? But I started doing energy healing when I was there.
mm,
Uh, so we were doing, it was me and another friend doing a lot of energy work behind the scenes secretly. also for other people.
mm.
So I don't know how I continued it after that. It was now we just jumped
And
into my
just to
history.
following up on that, so that you had this bond from before, like within this energetic kind of energetic healing, maybe that you connected in this. That you
Yeah,
like,
I think
yeah.
yeah, it was the first time I was like working with like angels or this kind of protection, like
Mm,
more consciously.
mm,
So
mm,
I guess it was a big thing. But yeah, I had other initiations also. There's a lot to
mm.
talk about. I'm over 50
Well, I
years
don't
old.
know if you prefer,
Yeah.
we can move on to maybe some channeling, but it's interesting to like, I mean, you it's
Yeah.
not been
No, no
like a
problem.
very linear as far as I understand, it's been
Yeah.
quite like
Yeah.
some difficult path in a way.
Yeah, you're right. It's been really crooked way for me,
Yeah.
and it's been back and forth. As I said in the last episode, I really recommend people to use their abilities and use their intuition
Mm,
if they are highly intuitive or anyway, because it's really dangerous. Because I tried to block it
mm,
in pairs or kind of overflow it. I chose intensity instead
mm,
of
mm, mm,
intuition to kind of just flood myself with more
I see.
information
Interesting.
instead of
Yeah.
taking responsibility
Wow.
for
That's
what
interesting.
I felt.
Yeah.
So
So because a lot of people are coming maybe from the other end, how do I open up to these downloads maybe?
yeah, well,
Yeah.
one upgrade I had was doing first upgrade was starting yoga. I was in my mid 20s,
Mm,
and that led me very quickly, actually.
mm,
Just months later, I into another initiation. I read in a
mm,
paper called The
mm,
Energy Wave.
mm,
This was like 90s, mid 90s, and there it said, yeah, do this meditation every. There was an energy portal open between over
mm,
Oslo and Göteborg. So I
mm,
did
mm,
this meditation for 1.5 months,
mm,
and then the after and I was just started doing yoga a couple of months earlier, and then every day, and then last day of this portal, I had
mm,
this opening and shedding of the veils, and I had my first past life memory, and
mm,
also had
mm,
remembered how I came
mm.
to this planet. So and then later on,
Yeah.
after this show, I started maybe Vipassana meditation, and that
Mm,
also
mm,
kind of
mm,
grounded me and opened up to a lot of intuition. And I started so spontaneously to read other people
mm,
uh, and their past lives sometimes. And
mm. So
yeah,
can you like recall multiple past lives?
yeah, yeah. Many. It usually happens around when you're turning 30,
Mm,
because that's when Saturn comes back after 29, 28 to 30 years in your life,
mm,
and
mm,
then and the native, you know, North American indigenous people, for
mm,
example, they say that until 30 you're dealing with a lot of past issues,
mm,
and after 30 it's this life's mission.
mm, mm.
So that's why it's coming. So
Yeah,
I had a period when where a lot of memories uh, came up
yeah.
after 30, around 30.
And was there a period where you had to like process these memories?
Yeah, of course it's connected. All
Mm,
past lives are connected to a trauma in this life. So it's like a shortcut cut sometimes when it's too painful to meet things in your current trauma, the trauma you had in this life, because it's really like a seed or a tool. Like if you clean your trauma, it will become like a healing tool, where you can, which is often crucial for your life purpose. But they can also be very hard blocks, of course. But it's a paradox. So there, if you're
yeah, sure.
yeah, if you're aware, you don't need to have cleaned everything in the trauma. You just need to be aware of it, so you're not projecting it on others. Then you're good to start.
Well, yeah, I'm just before we begin. I mean, some people talk about like an ascension journey, that we are ascending. What's your take on that?
Well, it's a little bit. Sorry, I feel there's a lot of people having that title, Ascension Guide. There's nothing wrong in that. It's just I think it's too much of emphasis on that ascension, getting higher, getting high vibes and just rising and rising. Rising is maybe better, but that means that we're very low down. You're rising from the bottom.
Yeah,
because
sure.
If we're just ascending and not at the same time descending, because those go together. If you want to go up, you need to go down. You need to meet all that shit in your lower regions, and to embrace that. That's what's called integrating the shadows. It's not talk about getting rid of your shadow. You just need to be aware of it. And so I was really surprised when I started channeling this council that it made me feel grounded. I was like, got cleared. Every time I channel, I get cleared out. Just
because they are very grounded by themselves, maybe.
Yeah, I feel that it helps me ground, and it also helped our relationship when I was doing it with my ex-partner.
Yeah. Are you ready for
yeah, let's do it.
Of channeling then? And
sure.
Are we going to set some intention before we channel? What would be an intention here?
we're doing everything with it's like just on the fly with no plan. We're just going back and forth. So, but it's fun. It's we're just beginners on this, so I am at least. So it's just fun.
Well,
explore.
my experience, I wouldn't say that I was like on your level intuitive as a kid. Maybe I had some other gifts, some other. Well, I guess we're all intuitive, but like I couldn't talk with the spirits, maybe.
But hey,
Yeah.
it's not always about that. It's many people think that they maybe have a pre-concept about how that you should see visions or that you should hear voices or something. For many, it could be like genetic. I know people, they just have the perfect touch. They feel things in the body and they feel what kind of touch other people
Yeah.
need or how they need to move, or they channel through dancing, or there are so many ways, or through painting, through
Well,
but
I would say when I sit by the piano, and then I sometimes when I get in this flow, and it's yeah,
beautiful.
I think you can relate probably.
Sure.
Yeah,
I've been always praying with the piano. It's like
yeah,
how I connected with myself,
yeah.
feeling myself.
All right,
But yeah,
so well,
let's
let's
go.
see. And if I were to set an intention here, maybe let us ask for like yeah, higher understanding, higher love, higher knowing, maybe
Mm.
that could be. Yeah,
Yeah, very beautiful. Thank you.
yeah,
I would just, you said high love, just to be grounded in the heart, so
yeah,
we don't
sure.
disappear into this, that the wow moments of the mind, to have this like epiphanies about very, you know, this macro insights, that it is just be grounded in the heart. So trust.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
All right. Let's
thank you
dig
for that.
in.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hmm. Ah, thank you everyone for your trust and welcome.
Welcome. How can we by what name can we call you?
Well, Enbär has given us the name, or our planet, the name Boazim, and that works for us. Um, of
Mm.
course, we are a whole species, and uh, of many individuals that are also very unified at this point. So, but we don't really go by names. We don't use that concept. That is a little bit of a yeah, it's actually a separational concept to
Mm.
have a name that you are separate in some way. It doesn't mean that we are not also um, individuals, that we can't give and receive love, but the kind of concept of giving and receiving fades a little bit when you are truly together all the time. So yeah, that is how we would describe it.
Yeah, thank you. So at this moment, it seems that there is a kind of shift in consciousness happening on this planet. Can you explain what is happening at this point in time?
Yes. Well, there's a lot of things uh, going on the heart level for all of you. Mm, you are, mm, I don't know if the releasing would be actually the right word. We would more say welcoming all these feelings, this generational traumas and old stored up feelings that belong to the old story, the whole story, both about yourself on a personal level, but also the overarching story of separation and control on your planet. So you're welcoming a lot of things um, that was too hard for you to feel before, but because there's so much support and momentum right now, you are ready to receive all these feelings and emotions. And yeah, it's important for you to remember that there is so much support, and both from each other, uh, because you are more connected than what you can perceive. You are really doing this together. There are so many other people going through the exact same thing as you are. So it's a collective thing. And same thing with the purpose. In a way, it's hard to talk about an individual purpose because in itself, the purpose means that you're serving others. And in that sense, is our purpose together. You're
Yes.
serving others, so it's a purpose for others to receive your gifts also. It's their purpose also. And
Uh, yes. So and it seems that like there's a bit of polarity maybe between those in service of light and maybe those who are um, access trying to gain power by exercising control.
mm,
Can you elaborate on that a bit?
yeah, it's sometimes hard to describe things in your language because your language is so built on this duality and the separation is in your language. But we would rather than talking about light and dark, we would rather talk about individuals and groups of people who resist the change. It's fear, fear of change, a fear of losing the sense of who you are, fear of losing this feeling of self. Do you think the self is your story? Your identity is the story. I'm a man, and this is my skill, and this is my story. This is my trauma. Nobody will ever love me if they see who I am. So I need to make this version, this more successful version of myself. And so, and on a bigger level, this power grabbing, and this is trying to resist the change, trying to hold on to the old story. So that is what makes the friction and what some people call this battle between light and dark. But it, it could evoke a lot of fear and a lot of this separation, that there's an enemy and there are good guys and bad guys.
Mm.
No, you're all connected in the heart, and on from some perspective, it's also uh, the people who are resisting are also fulfilling a purpose. It's like a giant mirror, the classic mirror hall where you look in a mirror and you look extremely fat, or you look they are magnifying your own resistance and your own fears. So they have a purpose to play also. So there's
Mm.
it's really hard to to talk about that. There is if, at least from our perspective, there are no evil forces at play. There are people who are resisting the change.
Mm.
Absolutely. There are
Mm.
forces within all of you that are resisting the change. And that is part of the process, to welcome that resistance as well, inside you and outside you, just to sit
Mm.
with the resistance.
Mm.
We so much like to be in this flow when everything is smooth, and
Mm.
but what what would life be? It was if it was just like this rafting, that everything just went one way.
And I guess in this awakening process, if we are to embrace change, there is some level of surrender. Is this correct?
Sure. Yes and no, because if that's why the resistance is also important. If you only needed to surrender and everything you would need was just to let go, then what would be your role? So the resistance plays one part, and your own creativity, but it is also uh, why the source can collect more information. So your way of solving things is really crucial. That's why you're here. You can amalgamate the shadow and the light within you, and out comes creativity. Or you're like a prisma. You're splitting the white light. You're splitting the love in all these frequencies in jealousy. Not that love is a feeling, but you're splitting the light in all these different experiences of jealousy, of envy, of sorrow, of anger, and joy. So this is part of the process.
Mm. And in a previous session, you were giving a visualization of the ascension process of this planet, which was very interesting. Can you speak just a little bit about like the evolutionary pathways of planets? What is like the pathway in evolution?
Are you referring to when we talked about the new Earth and the fire root grid? Is that what you're referring to?
Well, no, I think this was rather when Enbär was seeing a like a video sequence of different events happening upon the surface, and how things how we were transforming, how this planet will be transforming. So I don't know if you remember this, but maybe my general question would be like the concept of time. Is it, in your perspective, what is time in your perspective?
Um, well, time is occurs when you split um, matter and spirit, matter and space. Uh, you refer to space time when when you split when you split the world into space, uh, when two objects are split from each other, you can either measure their distance in time from when they split, or you can measure it in distance. So I don't know if that helps you, but if there's no on a spirit level, there's no time. Um, so you talked before with Enbär about past lives. Past lives are happening all at once on a soul level. You're in all these lives, future and past, quote unquote, lives are all within you at the same time. You can access all those things. There are different levels of entering certain subjects. traumas and tools that you are working with, that you have chosen in your soul contract to work with.
Yeah, and another question is time a prerequisite for experience? Do we need time to have an experience?
Well, it is like opening a book. It would be very hard to read the book right if it was just closed and if you could just see the whole, like that is how we perceive things. We see the whole book directly, the beginning, the middle, and the end, all there. And wouldn't it be quite boring to watch a movie that way? That you just feel how everything plays out directly. You don't go through any drama. There's no tension of that. Oh, what's going to happen now? Oh, wow, what's happened now? There's a problem, and the hero is in trouble. He's chased by all these evil thieves, and and how is he going to solve it? So it's part of this play or this drama. You open the book, you read one page at a time, you experience every feeling in a synchronistic way. Synchronicity, by the way, is actually when you can be with this in this split dimensional world, uh, and at the same time be in connection with the source where there's no time. So same time you're experiencing time and the timelessness at the same time. That is synchronicity.
How do we move into synchronicity?
We can do it right now. Just sit. Maybe you can place a hand on your heart. We think you are all quite aware of how it feels to be connected to source, to synchronicity. You have been longing for it for so long time. You are starting to breathe with your heart. You can breathe in green light, like fluorescent green chlorophyllc light with your heart. Feeling it circling in your body, filling up every pore of your body. Thank you for this peace. Yes, you're getting to know your vehicle, um, how to read energy, to move with different kinds of energy, and how to tune into different frequencies. So it's really like somebody has switched the transistor radio on, and you have just found this in the old radios, this button where you can switch the different frequencies to find the radio channels. Yeah, I've just started to explore that. Some of you are still like, oh, why do I only hear this white noise? Yeah, because you're not turning the wheel. You're not changing the frequency. You're not playing with that.
Yeah.
You're starting to understand that you have
Mm,
this this ability to choose. And there's
mm,
no hierarchy between the different frequencies. That's
mm,
also important to stress that there's
mm,
nothing wrong with the lower frequencies, but you have
mm,
already learned the lessons from those frequencies. It's time to try another frequency.
mm. And as we speak, I was feeling some sensation here on my right hand side of my forehead. So I'm
Hmm.
yes. And
Well,
wow,
what did you feel?
yes. Yes,
What did you?
like I'm like some it's usually in the hair region, like there's slight touch that I'm being touched by another entity, maybe.
Beautiful,
Yes.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, um, you have a guardian angel there. Um, we feel it's a powerful ancestor helping you to remove like a helmet. You have a kind of a helmet uh, on your head, protecting you. You're protecting you from strong feelings and overwhelm. So you're trying to pass your feelings and your experiences through your logic. There's nothing wrong with that, but
Mm, mm,
he's
mm.
trying to help you relax and
Sure,
help you feel
sure.
a little bit more and drop down in your body.
Mm, thank you.
A little
Wow.
reading for you there.
Yeah, of course. And it's comforting knowing that we're not by ourselves in this great big universe, and that we have all within this ability to connect.
Yeah, thank you. That it's like really like a big
Yeah,
family, and there's like a big party. There's so much joy and
yeah,
so inspirational to see your conditions, your unique conditions, and your bravery to to be able to learn these lessons with all these paradoxes and all these contrasts in energy on your planet and all the creativity, all your beautiful solutions, both on a personal level and as a collective. It's really inspiring for us to see. So we are really humbled by that. And there are so many different flowers, different worlds just on our meridian
mm,
or
mm.
energy line in
Mm.
our galaxy.
Can a general question, how um, what are the limits in the kind of teachings that you can what queries can be answered? Uh, how much information
Well,
has
well,
been revealed for you?
well, there are different limitations. You have the
Mm,
language. We are talking with
mm,
words. Sometimes we are doing initiations and meditations with you, or we are
mm,
switching in Enbär, we're switching from his language center to visuals. where he's trying to interpret that for you.
mm,
And yeah, the limitations are within Enbär. We can only express through him and
mm,
through his language. And sometimes he's a bit scared, or he feels a bit
mm,
responsible for what we are saying.
mm,
And
mm,
sometimes it's about your perception, of course,
mm,
what information and what energies you can grasp and sense.
mm, mm,
So we are aware of that. And there are also things that are a little bit unnecessary for you to know in this stage. I mean, you are in a moment, a very important moment in your development.
mm,
Uh, and there are things that come later
mm.
down the road that's not really important for you to
Yeah,
dive
yeah.
into, even if there are some things that might be interesting uh, in a
Mm,
more maybe entertaining or inspirational way.
mm,
We have been sharing about a little bit about our evolution
mm, mm.
with
So,
you.
yeah. So, if I may ask, in your perspective, what would be the main theme that we should explore at this point?
You mean in this talk?
Or maybe in our interaction with you, with the council, what themes would you suggest that we explore further?
Well, we really love this interaction, and we always say through Enbär that your creativity and your curiosity is really key, and you live in a free will realm. So
Mm,
and that's really key because you are really expanding
mm,
your own universe and actually the whole universe. That's the whole point of sending you out to these different schools, different planets, different worlds with different conditions.
mm, mm,
It's for you to explore different themes within uh, certain frames that exist in that universe or that world.
mm. And
So
and if and as like a high dimensional teacher, maybe um, is the what are the implication of like the free will? Does that mean we need to ask, we need to find this path ourselves?
well, one important aspect that we would like to share about is that because of the free will, because you have the choice to choose uh, fear and mm, choose reaction, choose resistance, mm, those should not be downplayed.
Mm,
You shouldn't be hard on yourself that you it took so long for you to heal, or you resisted, or you you didn't want to meet certain things in yourself or in your history, because that is just an experience. And if everyone would be in flow,
mm,
in love and light all the time of you on this planet, you wouldn't collect new information, you wouldn't have any lessons. You are learning to love in difficult conditions. So if there were no difficulties, how would you then learn how to love in that way? Or how would you be able to choose love in spite of all these hard conditions. So don't there's like a divine purpose of all the twists and turns that you're experiencing. So, but we are not like, yes, you can use the word teachers. We don't really like that because that implies some kind of one-way connection. We want to also stress that we are really, well, we wouldn't say learning, we are really growing from the connection with you. We talked about before that we are mirroring each other. We are in a very unified state, which we are kind of exploring how to develop now, where we are going. And we are very inspired to see you in your super separational state, where you're turning to something new.
Well, I've heard the reference to, like, in this density that we can think of ourselves as like the learn/teachers, and maybe then from a high dimensional perspective, we have the teach/learning experience. So it's like mirroring.
So it's like a dance where you we go through this different evolution, or we go through all these colors of the rainbow, you can say. So it's like seeing this prism. If you had this prism, glass prism or something in a window hanging, so when it's turning, you see the different lights being projected on the wall. So it's from a very far distance, a very like zoomed out perspective, you can see it that way. So you're just between two colors, and it's when it's so intense, the light, it can be very scary when the light is shifting, when everything is changing. That's one way of seeing it.
Yes. Thank you so much. And I guess we will ask for Enbär to come back.
Okay, thank you. Yeah,
Thank you.
as they're saying, thank you for the trust, and I'm saying it as Enbär also. Thank you for keeping the time.
Sure.
And yeah, it felt very good and very heartfelt, and thank you for the intention that you set. I really needed that, and it felt like a frame holding us.
Yeah.